It's good to be back, and I probably for you, like, it doesn't feel like I've really been gone anywhere, but basically, I just landed from an 8-hour flight from Toronto, Canada, back to the UK. I literally landed about like 2 p.m. now. Yeah, about eight hours ago now. Yeah. So I landed at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I was in Toronto, Canada for the last 10 days. And it's just been an incredible experience. I'm so tired at the moment, but I'm okay. Like, it's a really weird phase I'm in because I didn't like I didn't sleep properly. Like, honestly, it was, oh my god, it was the worst seating position I had ever been on a plane. The seats were very small. Like, obviously I was flying economy, right? And they put me in the seat in the middle. So there was like, so the plane is divided into three sections. So there's 3 seats, 4 seats, and 3 seats. Right? They put me onto the left with 3 seats, and I was the person in the middle of two strangers. And like, I'm not too fussed about sitting with strangers. I don't mind, of course. Like, it doesn't really matter. I just prefer to sit on the window seat or the aisle seat, just not the middle seat. But that's what I was given, and I was also not prepared to pay like an extra $50 for me to change seats. Like, it's just long. So I just stuck with it. I stuck with the first seat, and it was, oh man, it was difficult because the first guy that was already sat down, he seemed quite to himself, so which is fine. Like, I don't mind that. You know, he had his headphones in on the side. He kept to himself. Yeah, fair enough. Like, that's perfect with me. That works with me as well. Like, I just want to stick to myself, or watch whatever's on the screen, or actually I didn't watch anything, but just open the laptop and do some work or something. And then the guy next to me, he was a very big man. Like, he was like, yeah. I'm surprised that he didn't want to get like an an extra, like, I'm not trying to be rude here, by the way. It was very difficult for him to sit down on the seat. Like, for him to get into the corner was a task in itself, but for him to sit down, and like, it was a lot of adjusting to do. And honestly, like, he took up like nearly a quarter of my seat as well, and it was just a pain. Like, I felt like I was just squashed in the middle. So that was what it was like, and it's gonna happen on planes. Is you just have to like go with it. But 8 hours was difficult, and I slept, but I didn't sleep properly because my seat. I didn't want to. I hate reclining it back because I feel bad for the third person behind me, because I know if the people were to recline it fully in front of me, like, I'd hate that. So I just reclined it like a little bit, and yeah, the reclining, it was okay. Like, I didn't. It wasn't like completely comfortable, of course, but I managed to sleep in like random points in time. So I'd sleep for about an hour, like broken sleep, very, very broken, and then wake up and then do something else and sleep for about half an hour, wake up, sleep for half an hour again. Like, it was just very broken. So, collectively, the flight went quite quickly, and that was pretty good. But like, this is my first time solo traveling, first time being in a brand new country alone. And one of the cool things is that because I knew this was going to happen, and I knew that this is quite an exciting time for me, because I've never done solo traveling before and I've always wanted to. And I've never been to North America, or like the US or Canada before as well. So I just decided to basically vlog everything. I vlogged every single day, all 10 days, and that will be coming out as a series, as a separate series, Alone in Canada or Alone in Toronto. I haven't really decided the name yet. I'll be posting that kind of episode by episode. Hopefully by this week, the first episode should be out. I hope so. I'm going to try and be more efficient as possible and get things done. But yeah, why doing things alone is actually a good thing. Well, I'll talk about a few key points which I actually learned being by myself in a new country. Is number one, it's a little bit scary at first because you don't really know anyone. And in my case, like, I went for work, so I knew one of the people there, but because obviously they flew me out, but I didn't know them properly. Like I'd probably only had one conversation with them in my entire life, right? And that conversation was no more than 30 seconds. So I actually didn't know who, like I just knew of their name and I had already spoken to them once. Yeah. But yeah, it was completely brand new and it was very exciting. I think, to be honest, like I was so excited to be in Canada that like that fear wasn't that strong. But yeah, I'd essentially not, like I don't know anyone, that was a big struggle because some of the evenings I remember I felt so bored because it might have been a nice sunny day, and normally I would chill with my friends, and if it's a nice day in the evenings or something, someone would be doing something, so I'd go hang out. Or if I was at home, I'd just be working, but I didn't really have like my facilities, like my laptop. Like not my laptop was there. It's just more so like I didn't really have anything else to do, and also I kind of wanted to just enjoy the city as well because it's a brand new location. That was pretty fun, and it was a bit lonely at times where like you feel like you should be doing something because and let's say it's a nice day, you're in a new city, it's like low key it feels like you're on holiday. Obviously I wasn't because I had to go for work, but low key because I felt like I was in a completely new environment. I had to make the most out of it. And for me, whenever I go on holiday, this is my condition, right? Because every time I've gone on holiday in my life, every year it's always with people, it's always with friends or it's with family, and as a result, like I'm never alone. I've got things to do, and like it's never like, okay, cool, like what do I do with myself in a brand new city? Like it's never that. So that was a challenge in itself, and I think it was a good challenge because it forced me to be very independent. It forced me to think of things that I like normally doing, and whether it's by myself or whether it's with friends and family or something, and try it to do that again with myself. And one of the things, for example, is that I like going to I like going shopping. I like going to grab like food and stuff, but I like doing those things with people. So I literally spent one of the entire like mornings and days just in the shopping center in downtown Toronto, talking to people. Like literally, I was just in random shops. I was just saying, hey, like trying to get out of my comfort zone. That was pretty cool because I actually made friends because of that situation. I made friends with certain people, and they invited me out. Later on in the evening, we hung out, and that was an incredible experience because I just wanted to get outside my comfort zone, and I just wanted to make sure that I can randomly go up to strangers and just strike up a conversation. All of this is kind of like documented in my blog, so that will be coming out. Being alone is actually a good thing because it kind of forced me to do the things that I normally would do with other people and that I'm normally comfortable doing with others, but by myself. And because I could do that by myself, it was another, like, it wasn't, the activity became a different kind of activity because it made me really like, I don't know, like kind of just be comfortable with being alone. And I don't see being alone as a bad or negative thing at all. I think it was really nice because I felt like I can just sit down. I was really calm and I can just understand myself, understand things that I like. And also being alone really helped me identify things that potentially I actually should be a lot better in. So it helped me identify my weaknesses. And for example, one of my weaknesses was because it's like I'm used to like living at home and stuff like that, so I can kind of get by with, like not having to like necessarily always iron my clothes. I'm lucky and I'm grateful for me living at home that sometimes that's taken care of, or like at least like meals as well. I get cooked meals rather than me having to do them myself. Again, I'm in a very grateful position to have that, every day. To now suddenly when being alone, like I realize, okay, because I've not being cooking my own meals all the time, or I don't really iron my own clothes or something, then I realized, okay, actually I'm not, because I haven't been doing that, I'm not really skilled in this thing. And being independent really makes you see where you're lacking in your like skills levels, like what kind of things that you ideally should be doing really well at, but just because of like circumstances or situation, you don't necessarily do that, and you're not that good at those things. So yeah, one of the things for me is like I had to really keep my clothes tidy. Like I had to like make sure that I was in the wash all the time, of course, like, and just clean up everywhere, like in the apartment. Like I was so bad at that. Also in my mind I was thinking, because I was here for like 10 days, I just didn't really care too much in that sense. But again, that's not the right mentality to have. So yeah, being alone really allowed me to understand my weaknesses. It also allowed me to understand myself. Like I learned a few things about myself. Like, I really do value my going on walks. That's something I really like, and me just thinking about things. Like, one thing I actually realized, that on my walks, and like whether it's to a park, whether it's just through downtown, I was exploring, I was trying to take in a lot of new things, but at the same time I was thinking a lot. And the key topics I would always think about the most are things like, are basically personal development. I was thinking a lot about how I can grow this YouTube channel and the community that we have so far. I was also, being extremely grateful for the opportunity that we were recently monetized. Also forced me to really realize like what I want in my future, like what do I actually need, and like where do I see myself really in the future, and that kind of reverse engineer myself to find the steps to make that possible, to make it happen. Key underlying theme is I learned a lot that I really like to think about personal development and areas that I like to improve. So yeah, it was a nice time. I really enjoyed it, and I'm 100% I'm going to go back to Canada, because I actually really enjoyed that time. But at the same time, I'm also going to do some solo traveling again in the future, because it was fun the first time. And I had a negative perception of solo traveling before I even did it myself. Like I just thought like, oh man, I don't think I could do it. I think it's so boring. Like I wouldn't be able to keep myself entertained. And you know what? Like, yeah, I did fully believe that. And potentially you could say like that is kind of the case, but mainly because for me it was because I was too scared to even take that leap, and I was too scared to be alone for like 10 days, or like however many days you're gone for. That's why I didn't want to do it. But actually, it was actually so fun. I'm not gonna lie. Such a good opportunity, and that's why I will do it again. That's why I'm gonna do solo traveling again, whether it's probably to a different country, but I want to try it again. It was a good opportunity. Anyway, good luck.